Hello there. In the end, modern dictators always turn to lawfare to ensure they keep their positions of power. But creating political prisoners is dangerous. Marine Le Pen is becoming the victim, the martyr, and the political prisoner the French establishment does not need. And the establishment won't want the resulting large-scale protests by Le Pen supporters now due to take place over the coming weekend. And the judges will definitely not want the death threats they reportedly started receiving straight after the judgment was handed down. Now, whether the court was biased or not now matters not. The people living in Western so-called democracies have been lied to by their political leaders so many times now, to the point that elections are becoming less and less relevant, because the same old politicians are voted in on the back of the same old promises that are then dropped. And the same old mass migration and nut-zero nonsense carries on regardless. So when a large tranche of the population sees their one hope, in this case Marine Le Pen, being sent to jail, fined and ordered not to stand in elections, they will get hot under the collar. She was seen as the front-runner for the next presidential election, now that Macron has had his 2 terms and cannot stand again. They will see anything like this as an unfair attack on them and their hopes, especially if they see large swathes of their establishment ruling bodies being captured by the Marxist left, engaging in a long march through the institutions, a Marxist left that despises them and the country they live in. The trust in those institutions and politicians has therefore eroded, to the point of almost zero trust that they would ever actually do the right thing. Rather, that they would actually be prepared to mobilise the institutions of the state, like the police and the courts, against their opposition when it becomes too popular and therefore too dangerous. That an overbearing lefty government would be prepared to turn their opponents into political prisoners. And that is a dangerous position for any country to be in, where the ruling class is seen as a physical danger to the very people they are meant to protect. Sound familiar? And right on cue, Marine Le Pen and her National Rally Party were getting too well established and threatened the internationalist EU agenda. Marine Le Pen had to be politically defenestrated as a matter of urgency. And after Monday's court decision finding Le Pen and 23 others guilty of embezzling EU funds and giving her a prison sentence, a massive fine and banned from political activity for 5 years, they obviously thought they'd done the job. There was no chance now that she could run for the French presidency in 2027 and win. Was there? But the backlash was swift and fierce, from Trump to Elon Musk to the politically right of centre in France. And Le Pen and at least 2 others have appealed the case already. And Politico reports far-right leader Marine Le Pen has been handed a lifeline in her bid to become France's president after a court of appeal said it would issue a decision on her case by summer next year. The dramatic intervention means the National Rally politician, front-runner to replace Emmanuel Macron in 2027, lives to fight another day after being banned on Monday from running for office. Now, as I said, there are due to be protests by Le Pen and National Rally supporters this weekend, after the National Rally president, Jordan Bardella, said in a joint press conference with Marine Le Pen that the French people should be outraged at this political and partisan court ruling, adding that, "We'll take to the streets this weekend." and he called for democratic, peaceful, calm mobilisations. And as a consequence, you can bet your bottom dollar that France's hard left Marxists will also be out in force to counter-protest. And I'll leave you to guess which of those two sides is more likely to get fruity first. We do normally expect some fireworks from the left in France, don't we? And the gendarmerie will therefore obviously also be out in force too. I wonder who they will take out first. Now, going on the offensive, Le Pen said that the judges had become politicised and that the system was trying to get rid of her. And talking to French media, Jordan Bardella said, "Everything will be done to prevent us from coming to power," adding, "Today it is not only Marine Le Pen who was unjustly condemned, it was French democracy that was killed." And the US President Donald Trump, possibly feeling some affinity with Le Pen, having himself been on the receiving end of lawfare, called this a very important matter and said that she was banned for 5 years and she was the leading candidate. That sounds like this country. That sounds very much like this country. With Elon Musk chiming in with, "When the radical left can't win via democratic vote, they abuse the legal system to jail their opponents. This is their standard playbook throughout the world." And he also said this will backfire like the legal attacks against President Trump. And for her part, Le Pen said the system had used a nuclear bomb against her to stop the party in its tracks. "Evidently because we are about to win the elections," she said. Going on to say that she would not let them get away with this. "We will hold on until the end, until victory," she said. Now, Jordan Bardella had previously condemned the tyranny of the judges, saying everything was being done to stop the National Rally getting into power. And in a sign that things are heating up, reports are coming in of very personalised attacks and threats against the 3 judges involved in this case. And citing a police source, Le Figaro claimed that the president judge, Benedict de Pertuis, had been placed under protection as a result, and Jordan Bardella criticised and condemned those threats. Now, as you can imagine, many European politicians on the right have swung behind Le Pen and given her their support. Those like Geert Wilders, Viktor Orban and Matteo Salvini. And horror of horrors, even Vladimir Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, said, "Marine Le Pen's situation constitutes a violation of democratic norms." That'll have the Kremlin bashers up in arms. And all this publicity will not harm Le Pen or the National Rally at all. Just like with Donald Trump, they will gain support from it. Even the BBC says, back in France, it is possible that, whatever happens to Le Pen politically, her party will benefit and grow in popularity from all the media attention surrounding Monday's sentencing, the appeal case that will follow, and a sense of defiance amongst a big chunk of voters at a French establishment they believe is trying to stifle the will of the people, robbing them of their popular choice for president. As I've already pointed out, this is not a good look and is also a very rapid route to a powder keg situation. Maybe they should let Marine Le Pen run for president. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below, and a big shout out to our Patreon supporters. And thank you for watching.